Hi everyone, welcome. For this gentle class today, we are going to use a bolster, probably 2 blocks, probably a blanket, probably some straps, probably some yoga balls. If you have tennis balls or anything like that, you can grab those and get ready. We're going to start on our backs today in a supported fish. We're going to be very gentle and vibey because if you are listening to or you're doing the recording of this, it is a rainy Sunday morning. And so you can tune into the rainy Sunday morning vibes as we get going today. I think I have everything I need. So I'm going to pop on over to the mat. Make sure you have water handy. And it really takes a moment to settle yourself into the shape. And a supported fish can be with a bolster. You can also just use a rolled up blanket behind your back or something like this. Totally up to you. Or you can use that rolled up blanket on the very end of your bolster. And I will very happily demonstrate for you this shape. It's one of my favorite ways to both unwind and begin practice. So laying your whole back on the bolster, hips are on the earth, legs are on the earth, feet can splay out to the sides. You can even take your feet nice and wide. Arms can stretch out and you let your heart melt open. And for the next minute or so, we'll just acclimate to this shape. This beginning, this opening, this upending in a way. And if you want, you can begin to notice your breath. Without trying to change or force it, just notice the breath. And as we gently rest, as we begin this practice today, we can come more present and aware to just all your parts and pieces. All your parts and pieces. You know, what parts of you are feeling bright or light or prepared or ready? And what parts of you are feeling a little slow, a little sluggish, a little closed in, without trying to change or judge these, contrasting qualities. It's knowing that the power is in the presence, in the awareness, and the acknowledgement of. And so together, if you'd like, you can bring your hands somewhere onto your body. If it feels good and still supportive to remain in the shape, you can. If you'd rather roll off your bolster at this point, you can. We're going to come into some guided breath work. We're going to take it nice and slow, just opening up the belly, really coming into some belly breathing. So hands can be on the belly so you can feel the belly as it rises as you breathe in. And really hold the breath in, allow it to press the belly up and out and expand the belly. And on your exhale, let the belly fall. Let's do 3 more just like that. You can open your mouth on your exhale, breathing in through your nose on the inhale. Exhale, blowing it out. Breathing in. letting it out. Let's do one more nice slow inhale through the nose. Exhale, blow it out. Now bringing your hands onto your heart, stacking your hands on your heart, hugging your heart with your palms. And taking a moment to set an intention for yourself, a feeling that you wish for yourself, a feeling that you send to your heart, do you send to your being in honor of yourself. Something gentle, something kind, something compassionate, something deeply giving. And together we'll seal that practice. We'll invite it in with a nice big letting go breath. Let's take an inhale here. Sigh it out. Ah. Wonderful. Let's roll over to the side, bend the knees, rock over to the side, pause for a moment, landing on the earth, letting your knees bend, letting yourself rest on your side. Remaining here to just notice your parts and pieces as they are arriving. And with that gentle acknowledgement, slowly pressing yourself up to a seat. You can have your bolster nearby, but you can move it over to the side for now. Maybe sitting up on your blanket, you can bring it underneath your hips. Really taking the time here and letting the props be a little ceremonial, right? A little extra, taking a little time to find that perfect shape, that perfect landing spot. And then once you're here, once you're in your seat, just, noticing. Can you walk your sits bones a little farther back? Can you rest your hands on your knees? Can you lift up through the back of your neck? Can you draw shoulders down your back? And here in this place, maybe dipping the chin just a little bit towards the chest, just a little bit. Notice how you're seated here. Notice your posture. You might become present and aware to the feelings in your neck and your back. And so on your next breath, you can turn your head to a side, doesn't matter which side. Gazing over the shoulder. And then bring the opposite hand to your cheek. So I'm turned to the left. My right hand is on my right cheek. And I'm going to press my head into my hand and press the hand back into the head. And as you do that, maybe lengthening up through the back of the neck. And just becoming present and aware to the feelings and the sensations in your neck and your head. Very gentle, right? We're not forcing this. We're just offering this connection point. One more breath in here. And then you can release the hand and then just turn your head to the opposite shoulder and then back again. So just turning the head, just noticing the ease by which your head turns side to side. And now landing on the other side, bringing hand to cheek, pressing head into hand back into head just slightly. Just enough to feel a sensation. And breathing here. Let's offer one more breath in this shape. And then release the hand and turn and turn. Notice if that's freed up your neck at all. And then we're going to continue and the 6 movements of the spine. So now drawing and tracing in the air with your nose a circle. This can be a very tiny dime-sized circle. This can be a large tangerine size circle. Making sure to move in both directions. Just a few turns to open up the neck. And when you're ready, inhale, reach arms up to the sky. Nice big stretch. Exhale, hands to the earth. Cultivating the breath. Inhale, reach up. Exhale. Begin to cultivate the breath. Let it make some noise. That ocean sound, that ujjayi. 3 more. Maybe touching fingers overhead on your inhale. Exhale, fingers graze the earth. Next, inhale, reach hands up. Exhale, twist over to the right. Just a nice gentle twist. Hands can frame the knee. Inhale, up to the sky. Exhale, twisting over to the opposite side. Hands frame the knee. Inhale, up to the sky. You might feel this to be a little intense, but again, the movements are small. Keep using that ujjayi breath. Announcing to your body, to your mind, to your, to the space around you that you are lifting up, that you are energizing, that you are cultivating, that you are expanding. 1 more each side. Next time you land, we'll hold here and then crawl the hands a little bit more to add the twist. So opposite hand to opposite knee. I'm turned to the right, left hand on right knee. Right hand is behind me, pressing up through your sit bones, getting tall in your spine. Long, long spine. Breathe in. Exhale, twist, twist, twist. You're looking over your shoulder, gazing towards the back of the room, maybe the back of your mat. Keeping your eyes softly shut, gazing down, noticing now the feelings and the sensations in your sits bones and rising up through the length of your spine. See if you can twist, opening your heart just a bit more. 2 more breaths here. Next, inhale, come back through center, sweeping hands up to the sky, maybe touching them overhead. Exhale, turn now, gazing in the opposite direction. Now maybe right hand on left knee. Pressing into the ground with your left fingertips, rising tall through your spine, twisting a bit more, gazing over your shoulder. Breathe in. Breathe out. See if you can turn a bit more. Opening your heart. Twisting, rinsing the whole body, the whole being. 1 more inhale. Exhale to twist. Inhale back up through center, sweeping hands up to the sky, touching palms overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's breathe in here. And let it go. Hands find knees. On an inhale, send your heart forward. We're coming into a cow shape, seated. Inhaling, lifting, puffing the chest, opening the heart, drawing shoulders down your back. Exhale, round, dropping chin down to chest, belly to spine. Inhale, come forward, opening up, expanding, really breathing into the ribs here. And then exhale, round and empty. 3 more just like this. Let your breath be audible. Continue to cultivate it, the sound, through that little constriction in the back of your throat. Allowing the breath to make noise. Allowing your body to breathe and announce its breath. You can continue this way, moving forward and back. Or if you'd like, you can add kind of a barrel roll. So rolling yourself back, a sideways movement on your inhale, sideways movement on your exhale. So making a circular motion, still that cat and cow for the peak of the breath. It's almost like you're stirring, but your whole body is the spoon. You're kind of churning things up. And at any time you can switch directions, really following the spine here, following the breath. Notice if this feels a little easy, a little hard, a little challenging, a little stuck, and then try to add some movement here, some freedom to move, some softness, some ease. And we'll take 3 more twists and turns. Maybe making the circles a little bigger. And then come back to center. Those are our 6 movements of the spine. You might notice a little difference in your back and your neck and your head. Let's bring hands back behind you. At this point, you can remove the prop. If you have a blanket that you are seated on, you can move it to the side and have your bolster handy. You can start it on your right side. Hands come back behind you. Take your feet nice and wide, wider than your knees, and then just windshield wiper the knees. This might feel a little awkward. If it does, that's fine. You can adjust the feet so that maybe you're just up on the heels, gliding side to side. And by all means, you can move at half my pace, really slowing down, landing there, letting the whole breath be the length of the movement. And then if you'd like, as you draw your knees to the side, maybe you're reaching your arm up and over. Maybe you're hearing some pops and crackles as I am. There it is. Those seem to be especially prevalent on our rainy days. That's why we take the time to open the body. And here we're hydrating the joints. I'm breathing in and adding space. And continuing with that Ujjayi breath. And then let's do 1 more each side. So coming now, when you land over to the right, we'll pause here, turn, framing the right knee with both hands. You're going to have your bolster handy. You may not want it here, so I'm going to give you the option without, but just have it available. Framing the knee with both hands, inhale to lengthen up. And then we're going to do like a dolphin dive. So using your nose as the guide, curl down, nose towards chin, nose towards chest, bringing the nose down towards the knee, and then on your inhale, turning nose up, lifting up, following the whole body with the nose. Exhale, turn towards the chest, towards the knee, dive down, inhale up, inhale, rise. And then we're going to continue with this motion long enough that it becomes more of a meditative experience. If at any time you'd like to pause, you may. Just let it be smooth. Allowing this mobility in the body, this opportunity to open, and churn up, to churn out. And at any time you can land. Where we go next from here is drawing down and then landing in this spot. Forearms can touch the ground, or opening up the hip here. Forearms can be on the earth, and if you'd like, you can bring your bolster handy, and this is where I say maybe it works for you, maybe it doesn't, but you can grab your bolster and just hug your body on top of it, maybe folding over the bolster and allowing yourself to rest and release, and with a supported shape, allow your body to settle as your hip opens. Remembering to breathe. Even when we're in place, even when we're in a static shape, there's still movement happening. It's deeper movement, this expansion, this opening, this spaciousness. And by allowing the breath to feed and fuel the movement and the mobility of what is shifting inside of you, we allow more consciousness in the experience. Notice the back of your neck. See if you can really support your head here, your whole head. And so if you don't have a bolster, if you prefer not to have the bolster, you can use a block underneath the forehead. We'll be here for about 4 more breaths. So really letting the whole head rest, the whole neck rest, taking all the weight, all the effort out of the neck. Maybe even bringing a fingertip to that, the occiput, right, the base of the skull, and just offering a little bit more support to help the forehead rest in the block. As we complete the shape, let's take a letting go breath. Nice big inhale. Sigh it out. Slowly crawling up to a seat. You can relocate your supports to be now on the other side of your mat. And when you're ready, hands come behind the hips. Let's windshield wiper legs side to side, just a couple of times. And when you're ready, you land on the other side, turning. Now both hands framing the right knee, turning your whole torso, lifting up. Having enough spaciousness here, knowing that we are going to dip dive forward first, bringing the nose down towards the chin, down towards the chest, down towards the knee. Inhale to rise. And we continue with this movement. For long enough to allow it to become meditative. Allow the body to move with this meditation. Allow the body to be supported as you land, as you offer, moving at the pace that feels best and right and in honor of you. Sometimes the body has a quickness to it. Sometimes it has a bone deep slowness. In all options, right? All feelings, all sensations are welcome. All paces. And so you stay here as long as you'd like. Again, cultivating the breath, using the breath, allowing it to help to move, not just the outside, not just the muscles, the bones, the shapes that you see, but your cells, your tissues, your feelings. And emotion, right, is energy in motion. And so we move on the inside as we're moving on the outside. And when you're ready, if you'd like, you can land here, maybe offering the bolster as support underneath your forearms and whatever you choose, allowing your head to be well supported so that your neck may release, so that your body may soften, so that your expression can melt, maybe separating the teeth and just allowing the whole face to be smushed and squishy. To be pulled by gravity. As much as you can, allowing breath into the back of the neck, breath into the ears. Can you release in this shape? What can you offer back to the earth? Four more breaths here. Last breath. Let's let it go with a sigh. Inhale. Sigh it out. Slowly crawling up to a seat, moving props to the side, but having blocks nearby. We're going to come into tabletop, hands and knees on the earth, taking a moment to orient your body in space. Planting palms, fingers pressing into the earth, knees underneath hips. Let's take a few cat and cows. Just to notice this new orientation, to work with gravity in a different way. Next, inhale, coming to that tabletop, sending right leg long, pressing foot into the ground, send your heel back. If you'd like to bring this into a balanced table, firm up the belly, press it into spine, and then bring the opposite arm, the left arm long. Other options include keeping both hands on the earth and lifting just the heel, maybe making some circles with the foot, twisting it around, maybe twisting and moving the whole leg. And maybe just landing in place, foot on the earth with opposite arm forward. So you see there's a lot of options here. And maybe what you offer yourself is a little sample of each one. And maybe what you offer yourself is a child's pose. It's less important that we have the exact same movement that we are being taught, but rather to learn the teaching by becoming your own guide, your own personal expert on your body, on how it's feeling, on what it needs. That's the yoga. That's the union. Bringing body and mind and actions together. Let's all lift right leg, pressing the heel back so strong here. If your left hand was lifted, you can bring it back down onto the earth. On an inhale, we're bringing the leg long. Exhale, draw knee into elbow, or maybe just along the side. You don't have to touch it, just bringing it closer. On an inhale, we extend. On an exhale, we squeeze over to the side. And you just go as far as feels comfortable for you. Inhale to lengthen. As far as your body is offering to allow you to go. And we'll do 2 more. Squeezing to the side. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, squeezing to the side. And this time we'll hold. Pressing here. 1 more breath in. And then exhale, drawing the foot onto the earth. And you can slowly walk it up so that we are in a low lunge. And this is where, if you have your blocks, you can bring them underneath your hands in a nice tall supportive shape, pressing into your foot, engaging, pressing into the earth, lengthening up through the crown of the head, drawing belly into spine, being here, breathing here. And from here, this is again where we really start to craft and create the experience that is for you in this moment. So maybe you bring one hand onto a knee, maybe both hands. And by all means, if you would like to support the back knee with a blanket, then you bring it there. And if you are feeling extra enlivened today and energized today during this practice, you can bring maybe one arm up, maybe both arms up. And they can stay straight, and you can engage through the belly and reach long. And you see how many derivations, how many different orientations there are, how many different differentiations there are for each body, each being. Maybe you're reaching and arching arms back and heart comes up. And all of these options are entirely for you. The practice, again, is not in doing exactly what you're told. It is being educated in the various expressions your body can make. It's about being well schooled in and the expert of your body and your being and its needs. And gosh, right? Its desires, its wants. And as you become more present and aware to the feelings and the sensations in your body, as you practice this conversation that we have throughout our time on the mat, that conversation, that awareness, that relationship starts to build and permeate into the rest of your life. One more breath in your version of this shape. And when you're ready, you bring hands to blocks. Lift up the back knee just for support. Whew. And when you're ready, you can tiptoe that back foot forward. Take your time. Let's find our way to a halfway lift. Take your feet nice and wide. Inhale, hands on knees. Exhale, fold to the earth. Twice more just like that. Inhale, hands come to knees or shins or toes. Exhale, we fold. Exhale, we let it go. Yeah, breathing in, finding that length, the support of the strength of the core. And then as you fold, you let it all go. Head, neck, and shoulders melt towards the earth, pressing into both feet. This time, crawl hands up the body. Slowly make your way up to standing. Inhale, arms rise. Bringing hands together overhead. This time, let's bring left hand onto right wrist. Feet are nice and wide, soft bend in the knees. Reach over, up, over to the opposite side. Pulling right hand over to the left, opening up through the side ribs, finding spaciousness, finding openness, an opportunity to be present to become aware of the openness and the expansiveness within you. One more breath in. Exhale over to the other side, pressing through your foot, reach up and over, expand. Press into the earth, find spaciousness. Breathe. Next inhale, come up through center, stretching both arms up to the sky, maybe adding a mini back bend, opening the heart. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's take a breath in and offer it out. Stepping feet nice and wide here. We're gonna come into star pose. Bring your feet as wide as you feel comfortable, maybe coming to the long edge of the mat so you have space and grip, pressing into the outside edges of your feet, the heels of your feet, the balls of your feet, and all 10 toes. Maybe lifting your toes up, and then from the baby toe to the fourth toe, slowly dropping to the third toe, to the second toe, and finally the big toe on the earth. Becoming aware of the feelings of your feet, all 10 toes pressing into the ground. And see if as you press down, or you can get a little feedback in your thighs, maybe a little feedback as you draw belly into spine, maybe a little feedback as you engage also through the glutes and the back. And then when you're ready, you can reach one arm up, maybe both arms up, out nice and wide, expanding through your fingertips, opening up through the palms, offering space between the fingers as your heart presses, as your hands press back, as we breathe here and open, and as we are here and proclaim, I am here. I exist. I am present. I am strong. I am enough. You breathe into that mantra, into that proclamation for 3 more breaths. Last breath in. Exhale, hands to heart. We'll step forward slowly, walking feet closer together. We have time for one more standing balance, and so I'll give you 2 options. And if you have some supports at home, or if you're near a wall, then you can use those supports. And sometimes it's really fun to have extra support as you come into one of a standing balance shape. So we're going to start on the right side. Left foot is pressing into the ground. And you can just come up onto the ball of your right foot. Again, pressing all 5 of those toes into the ground, maybe bringing your hands onto your hips. And from here, if you'd like, you can bring your foot onto your shin and come into a tree pose. As an alternative, right, there are other options within your tree. Foot could come to the thigh. Or as your alternative, you can just come into a stork pose. Bending the knee, keeping it forward. This uses a lot more strength in the core. Sometimes it can be a little easier on the knees and even the hips. So if you have your support, your opposite hand, so your left hand is coming onto maybe the back of a chair, maybe pressing against a wall. That can be really fun. You might notice that as you press into the wall, you get a little taller. You're going to choose your shape. You're going to offer it to yourself. And then, maybe one hand comes onto your heart. Maybe over time, you slowly bring both hands to your heart. Again, if you're feeling expansive, right, arms can come up. I feel like sometimes on rainy Sunday mornings, it's nice to stay a little snuggled in. And that includes offering your heart a little bit more support and ease and being with yourself. Let's offer one more breath here. And then slowly release, taking your feet wide, hands on your hips, roll it out. And then move in the opposite direction. And then come to the other side, pressing in now to the left foot or into the right foot. And again, setting yourself up. So pressing all 5 of those toes into the ground, lifting the heel, finding your shape. Maybe it's lifting up the knee. Maybe it's coming into a tree pose in any version. Hands can remain on your hips. This is a really nice way to begin balance or to build balance back. And then, of course, hand can be on a wall, hand can be on a chair, hand can be pressing. Notice how you can use that, and you can see it a bit with me, but I can get a little taller, right, when I have more support. When I'm pressing into something else, all of a sudden the muscles work differently. The body comes into a different line. There's a different energy to the state. And again, you find your hand position in a way that supports you and that is kind to you and that is in honor of you. And we breathe here, allowing all the strength, all the ease, all the lightness, all the balance, all the evenness, all the unevenness to come to the surface and to offer it to yourself for 3 more breaths. Last breath here. Maybe sighing it out. And then slowly coming to the top of your mat. Inhale, sweeping hands up to the sky. Exhale, folding down to the earth. Inhale to your halfway lift. With your blocks of support, stepping right foot back, coming into a lunge, and dropping that back knee. And again, using your blocks of support, now coming to the other side of our low lunge. Grabbing a blanket, bringing it underneath your right knee as support if you'd like. Allowing yourself to find the shape. Find the shape, land here. And again, maybe stacking hands on knee, maybe keeping hands on blocks. And I think it's really important to say it this way, we have been conditioned to believe that what our body is able or not able to do, what our body craves or does not crave to do is something worthy of judgment, and it's not. That's just not true. There's not one way of being or moving the body that is superior to another way of moving the body. It's wonderful to celebrate achievements, opportunities to open, strength. And when we see those things, what I would offer is maybe changing and reframing the perspective to be, wow, look at what that body can do. Wow, look at the years of practice that must have taken, that must have, that shape or that performance must have behind it. And knowing that there is no way and there's no need to have an expectation of how your body should or should not perform, should or should not crave, should or should not want in a shape. What we offer here in this practice is this feeling of union, and the feeling of union comes from giving the body the opportunity to give the mind through choices and adaptations. The feelings, the energy and motion, the emotions that we most crave to cultivate. Last breath here. And slowly bringing hands onto blocks. And slowly stepping foot back, we'll find our tabletop. Sending left foot back, extending it back. You can come through a couple of cat and cows first if you'd like. And again, here you are maybe lifting the leg, maybe offering a twirl of the ankle or the whole leg, maybe coming into your balanced table and building that strength, the balance, the connections, the awarenesses that come from that particular shape. Knowing that this side might be different, and now it's been some time, or you've done some other shapes. So what you might crave on this side might be entirely different from what you did on the other. You might have two arms and two legs and two sides and a right and a left. That doesn't mean that they are exactly even or that they need the same level of care and support. Three more breaths. And when you're ready, coming to hands and knees, let's do 3 cat and cows, breathing in, exhale, rounding out. Inhale up. And exhale, round. And when you're ready, coming back to tabletop, pressing into left palm, reaching right hand up to the sky. And when you're ready, thread the needle, bring right shoulder down onto the earth. And resting on the ground. Breathing slowly here. letting the body sink into the earth here. Last breath in. Offer it out. Slowly rise, pressing left palm, reaching right arm back up to the sky. Hand presses and finds the earth. Left arm reaches. We sweep up, we sweep open. We find the sky. We turn and look up to the sky. And then exhale, thread the needle. Left shoulder on the earth. And we rest here and release it all. Let it all go. All the effort, all the strain. Offering it back to the earth. Just like water to be cycled and recycled and to be purified and held and released all at once. And last breath in. Let it go. Slowly coming up to your tabletop. And this time, we're going to come right into our rest pose. So if there's anything else you'd like to do before we get there, by all means. If you have your myofascial release ball, you can bring that with you. I'll just need one today. And I want you to come into your supported pose. And maybe that looks like bringing a bolster underneath your knees. Maybe come into your Shavasana and you just land here and rest all the way. If you have your myofascial release ball, you can also, and if you don't, you can just use your hand. So what we're going to do is start at the right hip, on the flesh just inside the right hip along the belly. And just bring the ball there and start to roll it in these tiny little circles around the bowl of the pelvis. So around like the, just below the navel and the soft parts of the belly. Over to the left hip. And then from the left hip up along the sides of the ribs. Along the sides of the body. Right along the tissue around the armpit. It can feel really nice. Moving up from the armpit. And where we're headed to is the collarbone. So across the collarbone. And again, just these little circles. Spending very little time in each one. But making a mental note. If there's a part of you or an area that you would like to come back to later. Now moving along the right armpit, down the right ribs. Down alongside the right hip. And then from here, maybe just a little roll on the whole abdomen. A quick touch with the ball. A quick touch of the ribs, the lower rib cage. The breast tissue. Actually really important. We have a lot of lymph in that tissue, and it's important to move it, right, to circulate. And coming to the other side. You might notice, like me, if your belly starts to grumble when this happens, that's a good sign. And then slowly finishing up, finding your way into rest, letting yourself land fully in your mat and your supports, arms out to the sides. Let's take a big breath in together. Sigh it out. And this, dear yogi, is where you rest. Letting everything go. Allowing your whole body, your whole being to settle on the earth, to sink into the ground. Shavasana. Rest, dear yogi. If I was with you today, I would likely offer you an assist to lengthen the back of your neck by picking up your head and then dropping it back down on the earth. And probably offer your shoulders to touch the ground a little bit more by lifting up the arms and slowly drawing shoulder blades closer as the heart lifts and the arms get heavy. I might even offer you an eye pillow to place over your eyes so that as you rest here, you can do so with ease and with gentleness. Which is what you deserve and what I hope for you. At the end of each practice, right? Not just this one. And so if you'd like, you can stay here and remain here as long as you'd like, and I hope that you do. And if you'd like to join me, you can bend knees and maybe roll to the side, rolling over and gently resting on the earth, pausing for a moment to feel your body on the ground, landing here, becoming aware and present to the shift and the change. And as you are ready, you can slowly bring yourself up to a seat and maybe keeping your eyes closed and bringing hands together in front of the heart, crossing ankles, head is tall, gently dropping chin towards chest. And for this moment, remembering and honoring that intention, that feeling that you have cultivated and expanded into in the course of this practice together. Together, we will close this practice and enter into the rest of our day with a final Om. Let's breathe in together. Bringing thumb knuckles up to forehead center. Let's take a final breath in together. On our exhale, as we bow, we say, Namaste. Namaste, dear yogi. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope this offered you a gentle opening. I hope it supported your intention, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And I look forward to practicing with you again very soon. Be well.